Hi, and welcome to this quick overview video about this cool new strategy and system. It can be run as a very powerful system. That means you just simply do the strategy over and over and you don't try to optimize it, but it's such a good strategy too, whereas you can just do it when you think it's a good time to put on the strategy. You would usually combine that type of approach with some optimization factors. That said, you can come up with your own factors. Say you're thinking about the usual in trend. Could be also the time of day, the most flowing times of the day. The U.S. indices would be the morning time and so on. And this is a great precision strategy, and I'll show you really quickly. I just recorded the product, and it's actually going a lot of inner game coaching in that product. It was just something that just happened. It was pretty cool. Anyways, so here's some initial performance sampling. Now we need to put up more sampling and things like that, but this is just all the trades done in a row. And here it says 10 to 1, but I'm pretty sure this is taking all day long. But anyways, if it was just 10 to 1, well, that's pretty sweet. But anyways, so you can see this is the type of precision. And I mean, this, if you're, especially when you're starting with a small account, if you can't fool around with taking too many hits at the start, well, hey, this could be a nice strategy / system for you. And if you are starting from a small account, either you become, you get great clarity on the most optimized times for entry, or you don't fool around and you just trade it systematically. Because if you are a newbie and you're not used to all the inner game voices, thoughts, that come from many angles in regards to trading the markets, then you just may not want to try to get or make yourself open to emotional suggestion, which usually always loses, right? So what do? Well, you just say, hey, I'm going to take this little bit of risk capital here and I'm going to just follow the system. Now, a lot of people can do that. Some of my most successful students were military or doctors. Obviously, both simply follow the system. If they start making up their own stuff, well, at least in the allopathic, the MD medical doctors, they have a very strict system. They'll go after them really hard if they buck the system, even though maybe they found something more effective. Well, too bad. All right, military, well, that's no fooling around there. So I was surprised. Sometimes I'm surprised when students are successful, because usually you buy a course, you don't pay attention, you're like, oh, that's a nice course, it looks very nice on my desktop, and then that's all. That's it. No one follows through with the diligence, which really isn't that much diligence compared to other things in life, but they don't follow through. But it's surprising to hear student feedback when I ask them, hey, how'd you do so well? How'd you do so well? It says usually what I get back from these people who do exceptionally well, breaking high 6 figures and 7 figures, all right, with my systems. So what do they say? What are you talking about? I just follow your system. And when I hear that type of feedback, I thought, wow, someone actually followed the system, right? And it's just, it takes, I guess it takes a certain mindset. Anyways, something to think about. Something to think about. If you're struggling, you may just want to say, hey, I'm just going to follow the system. Treat it as a game, even. or you can even treat it as a, well, I can only say certain keywords, I don't want the video to get blocked or anything, but, where when you go to Las Vegas and you treat it more like that, where you're saying, hey, I have some play money, I'm going to go play, okay? So you acknowledge that it's play money, and you're willing to risk that money, and you know that, hey, it's a low probability game there, so you probably will end up losing there, but hey, you could get lucky. Well, what if we took that attitude towards trading a very high probability winning scenario, such as something like this? Just saying. That's actually a trading philosophy that we have here, and I don't want to even mention what I have to change the name of that. I don't want the video to get blocked or anything. So anyways, and it's not a bad name; it's just associated with Las Vegas. That's all. So it's interesting, like I talk about in the video, how the inner game in trading is so intricate, and that when you figure it out, you can become a very powerful trader. But are you willing to go figure out what's going on in the thought realm, in your heart, in your gut, okay, in your cerebral mind, and maybe your subconscious mind, okay? Where are all these voices coming from? And no, you're not crazy. These are actual thought zones. Where are you receiving these ideas that pop into your head? What's coming from where? And I say that in particular because I started off as a well-developed intuitive trader. So I was able to find the voice of my gut. You could call it my intuition. I developed it at least to a certain good extent. It was very good. Then as emotions picked up in life, then I realized, whoa, it's harder to listen to my intuition because of all this emotional noise. All right. So then that got me into thinking, hey, let me try to translate my intuition into something more concrete. And then that got me into systems development way back when. Anyways, but this strategy has some very good precision factors in coordination with the 20-minute binary at NADEX, with the 20-minute price action cycle. So I wanted to give you a picture of what this is. It's a precision type of strategy, and I'm sure that most people will appreciate that. And if you can hang with it throughout the day, if you can get numbers like this, well, if you can do something on it, even this, okay, 8 and 4, if you can do that on a consistent basis, well, then that's all you need to do. Because then you just take your account, okay, and as it grows, you simply match your position size with the new size, the new bigger size of your account in proportion. And as your initial, hopefully figured out, allocated risk per trade. And you can refine that over time. Depends on your own, as you find out your own personal accuracy in combination with any sort of, losing streak scenario, drawdown they call it. As you refine your numbers over time, you can optimize your position size, because the point of money management, position sizing optimization, is to be able to trade the biggest position you can. It's not just to say, hey, I'm a cool nerd trading the smallest position size because, it just sounds good to do. No, you want to optimize for greatest profit, and in that factor for greatest profit includes longevity. So you won't get into a scenario where you're trading too big and you go on this, this extended losing streak that damages your count massively. You got to keep that in mind. But you don't want to grow, or you don't want to have your position size too small, whereas you're just not growing very fast. Okay, you're not growing to the opportunity at hand. So that sweet spot always needs to be whittled out over time, and that's going to depend on your personal performance and your ability to show up and all these other things too. All right, so to find out more information on TBONEX, if you're not on the webpage at binaryoptionsauthority.com, then you can probably just look below, click the link. Let's say you're on YouTube or wherever you are out there, and you can go to this page, or you can just look up this strategy at binaryoptionsauthority.com. This is TBONEX20. Okay. And if you're on the page, well, you can just scroll below and get more info. And if you want to get it, just hit that add to cart button. If you have any questions, just let us know. All right. Thanks.